I'm joined by Jim Straus from ACM Research. Nice to see you, Jim. Thank you for coming in.
Nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
All right. So you're one of these rather interesting up-and-coming companies, should I say, starting out in the cleaning business and working into other sorts of
Absolutely.
wet etching, etc. Just for the benefit of our viewers, just tell us a little bit about the how ACM started and the industries that you involved in.
So the company was founded by David Wong in 1998.
Yep.
We had some interesting technologies to begin with that didn't necessarily become commercially successful. Mm-hmm. In about 2006, we began doing most of our operations in China, and then we really got interested in the single wafer wet clean business.
Right.
Growing that business has given us a chance to continue to grow the company. Now, we're a U.S. headquartered company, but our main operations are in China and Korea. We have manufacturing and R&D in both locations. So it gives us some amount of supply chain continuity and flexibility. So that's, David's a smart guy. He could see that coming. He kind of anticipated, I guess, maybe some of the challenges that we're going to have geopolitically. So.
Right. So just going on the technology that started you off, though, on the wet cleaning, it was really based around some of the, the atomizing spray technology to be able to get into these geometries.
For cleaning wafers, Megasonics has long been something that people have tried. Mm-hmm. What happened, though, is as the wafer geometries or the device geometries got smaller, Megasonics was not well controlled, and it was difficult to maintain uniformity, difficult to keep from damaging the devices. What we created, what David's team created, was something that we call Smart Megasonics. And Smart Megasonics is able to control that energy from the Megasonic and evenly disperse it across a wafer so that all of the wafer is seeing a similar amount of energy and amount of cleaning. Right. It's been a huge advantage for us. Mm-hmm. Again, it's one of our foremost products and foremost patented product. We've been able to leverage that and the architecture of that system to grow into some other areas. ECP is a good example because, again, it's a wet chemistry. Mm-hmm. It requires a lot of the same robotics, chamber to chamber type of thing. And now we're even going into some other things like furnace, coder developer. Again, interesting opportunities for us. So really the three segments of customers that we have are IC makers, which includes silicon carbide as well as silicon. Wafer level packaging, which is a big and growing market because that's really where you're going to gain some speed advantages for your devices. Mm-hmm. And then we also support the silicon makers or silicon carbide makers or wafer makers. Right. Mostly just because of our cleaning technology and the effectiveness of our cleaning technology.
So you're pretty much involved in all areas of the supply chain, really.
The whole vertical chain, yes.
Right. Interesting. But you're developing all the process tools around each of these areas, like in wafer level packaging, for example, you've got the whole suite of different processes and systems that you need to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think one of the advantages that we have is we're a fairly new technology company, so we can develop products to meet today's current needs. Right. We don't have to worry about this whole legacy stuff of how are we going to upgrade that system that has 20-year-old software on it and actually one of the key advantages that we have is our software systems, the way we develop the software, how easy it is for the customer to work with. Everybody comments on, how they like the GUI and how they like the interface is great.
Right, right.
Makes it so easy. So.
Okay, that's fine. And you've got an ongoing program, and it's easy to update and upgrade the software
Exactly.
and that sort of thing. Excellent. Okay. So, I mean, obviously we're in a market, here today at Semicon West, as we mentioned earlier, the headline at the beginning of the show was we're all moving towards a $1 trillion industry.
That's a lot.
It's a big number. It's a big number. I mean, what are some of the exciting things that you're seeing happening?
So again, I think all of this investment, in each of the regions, in North America, in Europe, and in Southeast Asia, for one, it's kind of all related, right? Mm-hmm. So you've got the decisions that are being made in North America that are going to affect decisions in Europe. Some of those decisions are going to affect decisions in Asia. So it's not, even though it sounds like we're all trying to be, geopolitically isolated,
right.
That's not really the way it works.
No.
I mean,
I think on a technical level, where there's going to be a certain amount of certain ways that we do things that are going to stay the same for a long time.
Right.
It depends how much this separation actually eventually does happen. I mean, it may well be that Chinese end up developing systems a different way than we end up developing.
That could be.
Yeah,
yes.
Could be, but that's a long way off, I think, or some time off. But no, it's just a really interesting area to be in. So you've currently got a staff of 15 people supporting you to grow this.
That doesn't count the headquarters staff, which is also located in California. So,
right,
like the CFO, the CEO, and various other functions. Okay. So,
but you're growing at something like 50 or 60% a year. You said to me earlier. Yeah. So, I mean, where do you see this going over the next 2 or 3 years?
Well, clearly, what David has shown to me or said to me is, well, first of all, we have to become a billion-dollar company, right? Because we're going to be 550 million or so, maybe 600 million in 2023.
Wow!
So
already. Yeah.
we're headed in that direction. The real goal is, in 5 or 6 years, we're a $2 billion company, and half of our business is from China, and half of our business is from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So
right.
That's where we're headed.
That's where you're headed. Gosh. Well, it's an exciting goal, a huge one, and you seem to be bringing out the processes to back it up. Yeah. So we'll certainly keep a very close eye on you, Jim.
Thank you.
To thank you for coming in and telling us about it today.
Yeah, if you need anything from me, just let me know.
I certainly will. Thank you.
It was a pleasure.